Why does using the correct chart matter so much in astrology, especially when creating ritual remedies? Well, there's a variety of reasons. So I'm making this video in a little bit of a response to a comment that I had on another video where I was describing gemstone remedies that I had, and someone had commented, "Well, I resonate with the Western system more, not the Vedic." First off, when I hear that, generally I like to ask someone how much have they actually dove into the Vedic. The Vedic system is a very, very vast system, and it really takes a lot of years to completely study it. And if you haven't actually tested something, you haven't applied the scientific method. Beyond that, we have to understand what astrology is at its fundamental essence. What we are doing is using astronomy, which is a mathematical science. We're taking actual physical measurements of real bodies that we can measure in space, and we're calculating those. We are using that as a map to then make psychological interpretations of our life from. So we need to make sure that our foundation that we build off of, our map that we're using, is correct. Now, in regards to the specific video that I was talking about, I was referencing how to calculate your life stone. And this is based off of the ruling planet of whatever the ruling planet of your lagna, whatever your ascendant's ruler is, okay? This is going to be an overall stone that you can use throughout your life, and it'll be good for you to use. Now, what happens if you actually go and use a tropical calculation for this? Because in this video, I specifically mentioned make sure that you're using your Vedic and your sidereal chart. Make sure you're using sidereal calculations for this. And this is one of the reasons why that someone had commented. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because if you were figuring out what your ascendant is, and then you're basing the stone that you're using off the planet that rules that, if you are using a zodiac that is 24 degrees off, then your ascendant more than likely is not actually there. So for those of you who don't know, the two biggest systems of astrology out there, the most well-known, are the tropical or the Western system, and there are Western astrologers who use sidereal zodiacs, but most Western astrologers use a tropical zodiac. In the Vedic system, most of us use a sidereal zodiac. In short, the sidereal zodiac is the stars and the planets as they actually are in the sky. Okay, so this is a fact, and ask yourself this, see if it makes sense to you. Can the planets and stars be in two different places at once? Can't be, right? They can only be in one place. That makes sense, right? Basic fact. So we need to actually create our map that we're using off of that, where they actually are and not where we think they are. So with the tropical system, it is 24 degrees off currently, and every 72 years, it moves about another degree off. So if you then are using a tropical calculation to calculate that remedy that I'm recommending, and then you go get a stone that is not actually the stone of what your real ascendant is, you may be working with a planet that you're not really meant to work with. It's not going to have the proper effect. And in fact, that planet could be a planet that is actually difficult for your chart and you don't want to activate it. So if I'm ever giving a ritual recommendation or something that I'm doing, this is my disclaimer as an astrologer. I have a responsibility to say this. Do not ever take a Vedic recommendation or ritual that I put and try to apply it to a tropical chart, because it's just, you're not going to get the same results, and then you're taking a Vedic technique and trying to apply it to your Western system, and it's just not going to work the same, because there are different things going on. The calculations are different. Okay, so a little bit of a long ranty video, but I also want to clarify with people too, because I want people to be able to use these remedies to improve their life, to better their lives. But I want them to do it in a way that is actually going to help them and not hurt them, or potentially cause a lot of issues in their life that they are not meaning to cause. And when you're using things like this, that definitely can happen. So be very careful in what you're doing, and make sure you are basing your information off of the correct foundation. So if you want to learn more about Vedic astrology and why it's such a valuable system, be sure to like and follow. And if you really want to get started and you're interested in 2 free astrology courses that I offer, just comment down below sidereal, and I will send you a link to be able to sign up to get 2 free courses.